Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going to talk about work and how whether you want to accept it or not. It's not, when you're in bondage, when you're in psychological and physical or mental bondage, you don't get to decide whether you're a slave or not. You don't get to make that decision. Like when slaves were in physical slavery, they didn't get to decide without putting their life on the line whether they wanted to be a slave or not. They had to remain in slavery. They were property. They were sold, bought, and traded like cattle. They were slaves. They didn't have a choice. They had to accept their fate. You know? But over time, when slaves became aware of freedom, because if you were born into slavery, you don't even know that freedom exists. You do not know because you've never been free. So you don't know. You know what pain feels like. That's all that you know. You really don't know what true love and happiness. All you really know is pain. So that becomes your norm. You prepare your mind for suffering every single day. That becomes your norm. So it's really not suffering to you anymore. It's really not pain. If that's your norm, you only know how to experience pain and suffering once you're free. Then your brain has something to compare it to. But if you've always been a slave, if you've always suffered, if you've always been in pain, if you've only witnessed what looks like freedom as a spectator, you don't know what it feels like to be free. You don't know what it feels like to be free. If you was born in prison and you only viewed freedom as an observer, you don't know what it feels like to be free. You see the prison guards, you see people walking in the street, you see people come and go, but you don't know what it feels like to be free if you was born in prison. See? So it's not like being in slavery. You had free slaves coming to visit you and talk to you and tell you how things are going to get better and all that stuff. You don't have that. You don't have like the hope of freedom. Like there is no hope. So guys, so the point I'm trying to make is, first you must know that you have options. Because you was not born working. You was not born a wage slave. Hold on, guys. Okay, guys, I'm back. Gotta turn the air on. It's hot. It's hot. Gotta turn the air on. So guys, So just because you don't know that you're psychologically, mentally enslaved, that don't mean you don't have an obligation to try to free yourself if you see other people that are free. Now the internet has made it possible for people to share their freedoms, their break from wage slavery. The internet has made that possible. So you have an obligation to yourself, to your children, to do everything possible you can to get out of wage slavery. Even if you can't do it for yourself, do it for your children, your grandchildren. Don't raise the next batch of slaves to work for In-N-Out Burger, to work at Shake Shack, to work at Target, Chick-fil-A. You know that freedom exists. And like I said before, there is a certain group of people in this country that do not pay to live. And it is not who you think it is. You think it's the poor single mother on welfare. That's who you think it is. You think it's welfare recipients. No. It is the people that's living in the luxury high-rise penthouses and mansions in this country. Those are the people that are not paying to live. And they're paying their children's way through life. In every state in this country, there are multi-million-dollar mansions in every state. If the wealth was so limited and scarce, why are they everywhere? They're everywhere. Million-dollar golf course communities in every single state. They are everywhere. But since you live in poverty, that's all that you see. Since you live in slavery, that's all that you see. So you have adapted the lifestyle of a wage slave. You have adapted the mindset of a wage slave, because that's all you see. That's all you're around. It's working hard, 9 to 5. You think that's the only way because somebody told you when you was growing up that that's the only way. There's nothing wrong with the 9 to 5, but you have to realize that the 9 to 5 is disposable. There's no freedom in the 9 to 5. The freedom is in the knowledge. The knowing that you have the key to your own freedom. So you have to invest in knowledge. Once you invest in knowledge, you're going to automatically start investing in your freedom. Because that's where it's at. So sure, you can work at a job for 30 years. You have people that were slaves for 100 years. Sure, you can work at a job for 20 years. You have people that were born into slavery and they died a slave. Born into slavery and died a slave, bought and sold and worked to death their whole life. I don't think you heard me say that. You didn't hear me. There are people, millions of people, that lived in this country. They have unmarked graves. Unmarked graves. They died and suffered with no ceremony. There was no wake for them. There was no funeral for them. You have people who was born, lived their entire lives, could not read or write. All they did was work every day. Their entire lives 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 years of hard labor. People who had never committed a crime. The only crime they was accused of was being born the wrong color. So guys, if you was born in the wrong environment, in the wrong household, the wrong parents, society said that's a crime that you was born into. You was born into a crime because you was born poor. 150 years ago, you was born into a crime because you was born black. 500 years ago, you was born as a criminal because you was born Native American. So guys, you can be born a combatant, a hostile. You can't be born the enemy. You can be born hated for no reason. Just born. They hate you as a 1-year-old child, as a 2-year-old, as a 3-year-old child, as a 4-year-old child, 5 years old, 6 years old, 7 years old, 10 years old. They hate you already. You haven't done anything, committed no crimes, but you're hated and you have been sentenced to a life of hard labor. That's the new 9 to 5. You thought I was just describing slavery? No, that's the new 9 to 5. You have been sentenced to a life of hard labor every day. And you know it's wrong because you hate going to work. You know it's wrong. Your body knows it's wrong because you got to have health insurance. You have to have health insurance. You know why? Because you know that you're going to get sick. Because if you didn't know that you was going to get sick, you wouldn't need health insurance, to be honest with you. But people stay at their job for health insurance because they know they're going to get sick. Because they're eating bad, they're sleeping bad, they're living bad, they're smoking and drinking. And they know they're going to get sick, so they have to have health insurance. But the people that was in physical slavery didn't have any health insurance. You better take responsibility for your life, and you better be your own insurance policy by doing the right thing, by taking care of your body, taking care of your mind. And realizing that you are being poisoned by the food supply. Like your whole existence, even if you're a high-end earner, your whole existence is toxic, even as a high-end earner. Because you're eating bad. You're in a toxic environment. And you're raising your children to be psychopaths, and their grandkids are going to be psychopaths. All of them are going to be slaves in the matrix. Even if you're a $100,000 slave, a $200,000 slave, a $300,000 slave, the matrix do not care about the money, to be honest with you. The matrix just print more money. The money is worthless to the matrix. That's why the matrix send the money all over the world. The matrix don't care about money. Billions of dollars. The matrix will lose $5 billion and it won't phase the matrix. Because they're going to just lower your wage and tax you more. The matrix knows how to get all this money back. The matrix knows how to get all of its money back. Whenever it loses billions and billions of dollars, it raises the cost of gas, raises the cost of food, raises the cost of health care, raises the cost of daycare, raises the cost of college, raise the cost of housing, lower your wage, raise taxes, and they get all their money back tenfold. So the matrix can never lose. You're the only one that's going to lose. Whoever need to hear this message, I hope that you're listening. I don't care if you make $200,000. You're going to give all that money back to the matrix. Because they're going to destroy your health, physically and mentally. If they don't destroy your health, they're going to destroy your children's health, physically and mentally. All your children are going to be autistic. All of your children are going to have special needs. Your whole family, y'all going to be sick. You're going to be diabetic, you're going to get cancer. You're going to be sick. High blood pressure, high cholesterol, Alzheimer's, dementia, sickle cell. Just name it. There are 200 type of cancers. Just name it, guys. Pancreatic, cervix, colon, throat, lung, mouth, tongue. It's everywhere. Okay, guys, that's in this video, guys. I just want to drop some knowledge on you guys when you don't really understand the predicament that you're in. And you know, no one really cares, really. There's only a few people that care. And they are scared to death of leaving their job. You know why? Because they trick you into buying your own slave quarters. So now that you own your own slave quarters, you got to go to work for the rest of your life. While the billionaires, they live, and their children, they live in for free off your back. You think Elon Musk's 12 children are suffering? No. You think Warren Buffett's children are suffering? You think Bill Gates' family, you think they're suffering? You think all these millionaires in this country, they're family? No. They're buying up all the property to make you suffer. They're not suffering at all. The billionaires, they're raising the price on everything because they can afford it. They don't care about the price going up. Because they know how to create more. They create more by paying you less and making you work harder. That's how they create more money. And if that's not fast enough, they'll just print it and get it from your grandchildren. They just print it now and get it from your grandchildren in the future. Did you hear what I said? If getting it from you is not fast enough, they'll go ahead and print $1 trillion now and forward that, give an IOU, not IOU, pay it forward, debt it forward to your grandchildren. They're going to debt it forward to your grandchildren. You're going to be dead and gone. You not even know that you put your children in slavery. Your grandchildren and your children. Okay, guys, that's it in that video, guys. Guys, please download and deploy your anti-malware software, debug and unplug from the matrix. Guys, drink plenty of spring water to flush out the toxins, the chemicals, and the poison that's in the food supply. Guys, you are being poisoned. You're being micro-poisoned every day. There are 15,000 chemicals in the food supply. Glyphosate, estrogen, fluoride, mercury, and other drugs, of course you know. So anyway, guys, this is Contraband 777. I'm signing off. Now go and conquer yourself. Peace.